Hello and welcome to today's twin flame reading for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine and the current union energy going on. And we're going to be kicking off a new week here soon, going into mid-July. And yeah, there's some stuff happening. Today, Mercury went direct, so I think there's some recalibrating through that, and kind of like sometimes in that, there's still that kind of like moment of, I guess, like kind of like a gap of communication or a little mishap, but it's kind of just readjusting everything if that was anything that you happened to experience. And so you can probably feel that more forward, maybe where things were feeling like there just wasn't quite the clarity there. You feel a little bit more clarity to move forward and really just to be at peace too with like the decisions that you're in the process of making, like the new life choices that you may have made too recently. So yeah, it's nice to feel into that. And then there's also, of course, like still that there's going to be that Aries energy present of kind of working through blocks around passion and transforming our lives by you claiming your power back in whatever that means for you in your personal journey. So that's kind of going to be definitely a theme, especially this week starting off with, and yeah, it'll play out for a bit. Of course, you always want to claim your power back, not just because it's like in the stars, but it's a theme. So let's get started. Let's get started with the Divine Masculine first. So, and these cards are the Angel Tarot deck, originally by Doreen Virtue, and then also by Doreen Virtue, the Crystal Angels deck. So yeah, Divine Masculine's card is a great card. I love this card. 8 of Earth. Skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic and going back to school. Of course, it doesn't necessarily mean the Divine Masculine is going back to college or to get his, or to college or get his PhD or whatever it might be. It could be that, but yeah, it's just it's speaking to that new, deeper level of awareness and something that, yeah, indeed you are studying, reading up on, and the Divine Feminine can hold space for this as well, as the Divine Masculine's going deeper with exploring something and like kind of putting those puzzle pieces together on a deeper level of something that is really, truly fascinating, in his heart, that is either like kind of a new discovery of something that's like fascinating to him, or it could be something that he's been knowing that he's desired to go deeper with for a while but just hasn't known how, or maybe a little bit of both. Sometimes your awareness of something, there's just not quite light shed on there, and so once the light is shed, you kind of see where you were desiring, like, you had this thirst for this kind of knowledge all along, even though you couldn't maybe pinpoint like like exactly how to pursue whatever that is. And there's a spiritual component here too. So even no matter like what the subject matter is, there is some going deeper with enriching your soul, and so that really gives to your union as well. So yeah, and it's an earth card. It's very grounding, and it really speaks to kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for here, like a time that leads to abundance, because when you're doing this and you're laying your foundation in this kind of a way by really pursuing what it is that truly is fascinating to you and actually becoming an expert somehow in some way of it, you're adding that, adding value there, and you're not just doing it for one person, you're doing it for your union. And so yeah, that's like a well, I was gonna say it leads to abundance, and it's also a great investment. So yeah, it's nice to think about your personal education and work that way. Yeah, and I just love how there's like kind of a stack of books and how peaceful this card is. It's cool. So let's move on to the Divine Feminine's card. And ooh, hey. The Star, Archangel Jophiel. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. So this is a beautiful card, and it's actually the card that's portrayed on the front of this deck. Well, not on this, like this front, but on the, the box, the deck box. Yeah, so the Star, it's a really positive message to receive, and so it kind of further explains the Divine Masculine's card, how, this is really reassuring for the Divine Feminine and being able to hold space for the Divine Masculine, and also hold space for the new life choices that she's been making for herself, because there's some, uncertainty there, because when you are going, after your desires, a lot of times they may not be like a well-carved path, a well-trodden path already kind of thing in consciousness. And also there can be an undoing, kind of like a tower aspect where there's, like a falling away of whatever it is that is no longer serving you, essentially. And so yeah, that can feel a little bit like even intimidating, but this is a really also a really grounding card, and it's number 17, which is cool because number 17 is a prime number. I'm right on that, right? I feel like I know my numbers pretty well. I'm not no mathematician, but yeah, and it's also 7 plus 1, which is also 8. So there's some balance here in what's going on, some striking of a balance. And yeah, so really a very nice reassuring message. So it's nice to just breathe this in and go ahead and make those long-term plans in the direction that your dreams, desires are calling you in, and also recognize that you may then also be upheaving some things that no longer fit into your reality, like I said, falling away. And this can also look like dream work too. So if you have been having any dreams that are just something that you're kind of processing the next day even, and maybe even they weren't pleasant, but it's actually kind of the falling away of that old reality, just know that's what it is, and allow yourself to go deeper there rather than be oh, I don't want to, what the heck, just find peace there and find clarity. And again, and going deeper with this card, just don't stop yourself from feeling into what you're really envisioning your life looking like right now. It's really, it's actually really important that you hold space for yourself to do that. And then also for the Divine Masculine to kind of go through his own transition as he's going deeper into some kind of study. So yeah, sounds good. Let's move on to the middle cards. And well, we have the Crystal Angel card first, so let's just go with that. Oops. And yeah, nice compliment to the other cards. Lapis Lazuli, got some of that over here. Let's take a look at that. Oh, it matches. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, life-changing epiphany or experience. It's a time of big and blessed change for you, and God is supporting you each step of the way. And this card really reminds me of the sword and the stone. And actually, so does this card, especially I think of the Disney version, and when I think of that story, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. I highly recommend it. It's such an adorable movie, and it's really good, It's really, I feel like it's a very well done, classic. And it's a real cool, hero's journey story that's not too long. It's pretty short, and, just there's that sense of, really learning and mastering oneself and one's power there. And this is, really leading to that life-changing epiphany. And the divine feminine is also, mastering her power. But yeah, there's kind of just a, more of an energy of just allowing herself to be in her power, while the other stuff that isn't powerful, she's releasing. And it's kind of like pulling that sword out of the stone when you can finally pull it out. You keep trying and trying, and you're finally ready, and you might think, well, maybe I'm just not meant to be the ruler here, or let someone else try, whatever might come along and happen. And then one day you go back to pull it out, and whatever it is has just fallen away, and it's very easily yours and attainable. And it's kind of that idea of an overnight success where that's not really ever, pretty much never the case. I mean, there's stuff that goes viral and things like that, but something that someone works towards and is passionate about, and then they do kind of suddenly receive from that, but most likely they've been working on that probably their entire lives and lifetimes in one way or another. And the final card is, competing goals, bothersome details, and conflict with others. So yeah, that speaks to going deeper into union to me, and how you're kind of creating a foundation to actually be able to explore this more deeply together, since it's the last union card. And so it's cool because you're willing to go there as the DM and the DF. Did that wrong. Anyways, I think. Yeah, but you're willing to go there together, and you're willing to go to those places of conflict and heal them, so that where you've been unable to pull the sword and the stone before, you're realigning things by allowing yourself to go there. And this is 5 of fire, and it does speak to change, and it does also help to lead to these things, to this kind of change, and to this life-changing epiphany. So just don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to look, because you've attained a new level of peace, and so now you can really go to those places. Let's say, you have a twin flame story where your twin flame, or who you believe to be your twin flame, cheated on you at one point, or we'll just use that example. And it could be something you've been working through for a long, long time. And then finally, and you've been able to look at it before. Maybe you've even addressed it with him at some point, maybe not. But you're now able to go to that place of that feeling, of that kind of pain, of the conflict essentially that you had with your twin flame, and you're able to bring resolve there because of your own foundation with God that you're establishing. That's it's just very healing to your union, and it's harmonizing together. So it's these different things that have been kind of I guess in this little arrangement here, as you kind of fully address it and bring light to it, then it's able to come together and become that sword that comes out of stone. So it's something good happening there for sure. But don't be afraid, again, to go all the way to the place. It doesn't mean like spiritually bypass and try to like pull your sword out of the stone first, right? So there's definitely like a kind of some wisdom to be had there about going all the way through the block and just doing it, just relaxing into it, being and owning it and committing to yourself. So yeah, that feels complete. It's a nice way to start off the week. And yeah, just like take a moment to go deeper with that commitment yourself. You know, you can feel into that. It feels good to invest in yourself and invest that peace back into that, you know, that place in your heart where you feel that harmonizing of your union as well. So have a wonderful start of your week, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and get notified when my readings come out. And also I have, of course, all my links below for personalized readings, for coaching, and more. So happy Monday, y'all, or whatever day you're watching this, and I will see you very soon. Love you. Bye.